In this video we're going to look at the different types of data you may have. Generally there are two types, discrete and continuous data. So first of all, discrete data is the one we're going to look at. And discrete data is where the categories don't carry on from each other. They'll generally be labels rather than numbers. They can be things like colours. They also might be things like breeds, or they could also be things like types. Okay, so an example of more discrete data might be this table here. So in this table we've got eye colour, which is going to be our discrete data because we'll have things like brown, blue, green, hazel, grey and amber. And then we might have the number of pupils with eyes of those different colours, so brown being the most popular, possibly then blue, some green, some hazels, maybe no greys, and an amber in there. So that is discrete data, and for this you are probably going to want to create a bar chart graph, in which case you can either skip now to the bar chart video or wait for the link at the end of the video. Our next data type is continuous data. Now continuous data is where we can have an infinite number of possibilities. What I mean by this is, for example, let's take lap times. If you're timing someone to do a lap of a track, then you could end up with a number like 72 seconds. However, if you're being more accurate, that could be 72.3246 9 and so on. And this number could go on forever, essentially, because of the decimals, and in this case it's definitely continuous data. Now there are two types of continuous that we can have. We can either have one where it's split into categories, so for example, if we've got it split into category where we've got lap times of 70 to 74 seconds, then 75 to 79 seconds, 80, and so on. Or it could just be the straight numbers, in which case we'd just be recording times maybe at different points at 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, and so on. So let's take a look at some of these values now. The first one's here. We're going to have a look at some categories. So for example, in a normal year 7 class we might get some data like this. So if we have 100 to 119, 120 to 139, 140 to 159, and 160 to 170. Okay, so then we'd measure the heights of people and see which categories they fit into. Now, can either record this as numbers or a salary chart to make it quicker. I'm numbers in this one. So these are some typical amounts of data that you might get. We can see here that we've got the groups, and for this we'll probably be creating what is called a histogram. We'll have a look at a link in the later video later on. The next type though is our straight continuous data. So for example, if we're doing an experiment where we are measuring amounts of gas produced over time, then we might want to take a measurement at 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, 150 seconds, and 180 seconds if we're going every 30 seconds. Then if we have the amount of gas produced, we might have 5.2 centimeters cubed, let's say, 9.3, 14.9, 21.3, 24.7, and 30.1, for example. Now we can see here that it comes in the form of numbers. It can be absolutely anything, and for this you're probably going to use something like a scatter graph, which is what you'll use most often in science. Okay, so just to recap on those types of data, first of all you've got to figure out what type of data to have. Is it discrete, in which case you're probably going to want to make a bar chart, and you can click the link to go to the video on bar charts. Or is it continuous? And if it is continuous, is it grouped? In which case you need to probably have a look at histograms. And if it's not, then you need the videos on scatter graphs. Hopefully you now have an idea of which graph you're going to make, and you can view the videos to help you out with that. If you're still not sure, maybe go back and watch this video again or ask your teacher for some help. Thank you.